of the Holy Spirit. All glory and honor is yours, Almighty Father, forever and ever. Through him, with him, and in the unity of the Holy Spirit, all glory and honor is yours, Almighty Father.
Hello guys, welcome back to Christianity Reloaded. Today we're talking about AI and LGBTQ ideology. And we're asking the question, which one poses more threat to the Catholic Church? For me, I'm gonna say it's the latter that poses more threat to the Catholic Church than AI. But I'm not trying to downplay the threat of AI to the to the society, or to the effect they can have on people, like people losing their job. People start to depend on AI. I know there's some dangers there, but this dangers, you can see, is kind of this is kind of worldly stuff, worldly dangers is there, you know. And but when you look at the LGBTQ ideology and how is a threat to the church, you see that is more, for me personally, I think the threat coming from there is more dangerous, because now you see people that have this kind of ideology. You see some of them have a big position in the church, and they'll be pushing hard in the church for the church to bend. They want the church to bend and start dancing to the tune of all this worldly ideology, which the church have opposed, since the church started. You know what I mean? But this is what they do, because some of them are among the clergy. They want to push this ideology. Basically, what they want to do is to dilute the church and make the church as like any other schools, like worldly institutions. That it doesn't. There's nothing spiritual about it, because once you bring this ideology, once you succeed in planting this ideology in the church, the church becomes there's no moral ground to go to church. You know what I mean? Because the people promoting this ideology, they are crafty. They always think, they always use, like, oh, everybody is welcome. Everybody is welcome. But when you look at their welcome, they're talking about everybody, because they want you to hear they want to highlight everybody. But it's not everybody they're talking about. This particular group of people that have this kind of attraction. This is who they want to they want to use everybody and bring them in. We try to open the church for everyone. Everybody should be allowed to come to church. Like before, have you heard any church that shuts the door for anyone that even tried to come into the church before? No, I have not heard it. If you go back to 1,100 years ago, you won't hear that some people, they want to come to church because of their attraction. They prevent them. But now these people that are using, they say, hey, everybody should we should be welcoming in church. You know what I mean? We should be welcoming in church. But the thing is that not everyone want to be in the church or should be in the church. You know what I mean? Church is not because you said everybody's welcome, everybody's gonna welcome. And when you look at the current Pope Leo, you know what I mean? He's a very good man, as I can see. What I'm seeing now is a very good man. But he just released an encyclical about AI. You know what I mean? That's the danger. And I think it's his first encyclical. You know what I mean? And for me, even though it was a fantastic stuff he wrote there, but the thing is that I don't like to talk about church, how Christianity church. But for me, I think I would like to see his encyclical about this ideology that want to that pose as a threat to the church, because this is really a threat. But when you look at what is happening in Germany, in German church, you see that most of their bishops now, not all of them, but most of them, they are diehard about this ideology. You know what I mean? And they want to use every means to bring this ideology. You know, even if they want to merge them with, you know, they want to see a female bishop. They want their aim is not about the gospel. These German bishops. It's not about the gospel. It's about this individual, about the ideology they want to promote. That's what it is. And we should have a pope that's going to be, even as he's aggressive, you know, that stuff, standing against the war, which is very good that he's aggressive about it. He should be, I want to see that aggression as well in terms of fighting this ideology. You know what I mean? Because he has power to do something about it. He can't tell me that he doesn't have power to do that. He has power to do that. He has power to, take a clear stand up, which he has been taking, but he need more. He have to do more. Because some people always think like, let's go for dialogue and everything. But there's a point like you can't. Instead of you to allow something to, to poison the water, it's better that you take out that poison and and leave the water clean, because people think like, oh, Germans, if they are so like determined to carry out this ideology, it's even good that the German church, or these bishops will be excommunicated. You know what I mean? It's not German population of Christians instead of Catholic, very few. We can't just leave these very few people to spoil the culture. If it's excommunication, just we can excommunicate them. You know what I mean? And the church will still prosper. You know what I mean? But people will think, oh, this guy is harsh. You know what I mean? As Africans, because I love the church. And I don't want this ideology to dominate the church. The church is holy. It's not holy because of this German bishop or the bishops. It's holy because of the founder. It's holy. You know what I mean? Peace.